All right, dude.
All right.
Scott, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So for listeners in the Durham region who might not know you yet,
Yeah, so my name's Scott Carroll. I'm the owner of Carroll Property Services. I started the business in 2020. I actually started it in Ajax, living at my parents' house, but I live in Whitby now. So, yeah.
so born and raised, Ajax to Whitby. How far out do you typically service? How far will you go?
Most of my clients are within Durham. I'd say 95%. Occasionally, I'll get someone in Toronto. And then occasionally also I'll get someone kind of further east with like a bigger property.
Nice, wicked, awesome. And so, I also have to say, this is actually this is the first episode we're doing where someone's reached out to us to be on it. Yeah. So this is honestly like we've reached a milestone. I just wanted to like make that awesome. Like super.
Yeah, well, I saw I saw what you were doing with Taryn, and I saw him posting you around, and I was like, I should do this. So,
awesome, dude.
So
yeah, thanks for being here, man. And yeah, repping the logo looks sick. That's a really beautiful logo. Who designed it for you?
This was what is it? It's called Jockey. I'm gonna get the name wrong. It's one of my guys from a restaurant I work at.
Yes.
I serve as well on the side. So
yes,
Jockey Wear, I think it's called.
Okay, we'll make sure we get it right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the logo actually got designed on Fiverr years ago.
Nice.
But the shirt is from Jockey Wear.
So Carroll Property Services. Services. Wow, jeez, I can't say services.
I thought I was nervous.
I know. I'm glad I'm doing that for you. So what's entailed with what services do you provide?
Yeah, so right now we're doing a lot of snow removal, obviously, but the main services during the growing season is tree planting, garden design, garden maintenance. We have started providing lawn care services as well. We've built a few ponds and some other projects, but yeah, mainly I'd say it's the things I really love are the tree planting and the garden design.
Nice, sweet. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I may come to you with a pond idea. Yeah. Nothing huge, but nice. I've got a little space that could use a pond. Just to throw a hockey net on there and have some fun.
Yeah, the ponds we've built has been like, it's a lot of fun because it's so different from like the day-to-day what I'm usually doing. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, for sure. And the ones that you've done, do you have like pumps and stuff, or are they like natural ponds that you've done?
The ones I've done, it's just like, it's really just a hole with water in it.
Sick.
There's some rocks and some plants and stuff. Wicked. No pumps or anything, but I have looked into that. Like we could talk about what you need.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. There you go. Got a sale. Dude, that's great. Yeah, obviously I understand the snow removal during the winter because, there's no tree planting really with the frozen ground. And it's been a rough year, dude. You look healthy and happy, and you look like you're getting some good sleep. We've had a couple bad storms lately, man. Mm-hmm. Do you have a crew helping you as well?
So I got one guy who helps me out most of the time. But like, for example, the last snowstorm here that we had, I started at 2. I did a couple properties like kind of on my way to pick him up. Mm-hmm. And then he helped me for 6 hours. We did the whole loop, all my properties. And then I dropped him off, but it was still snowing that whole time, right? So then I had to go around and do all the properties again. I was out for, I think, about 13 and a half hours. But he helped me for 6 of those hours.
Nice.
But I've got a good snow blower, so that takes a lot of the work off my back.
Wicked, dude. Yeah. That's great. Is it mostly residential, some commercial?
All residential.
All residential. Sick.
Yeah, I have had calls from a couple commercial places, but I don't have a plow or anything, right? Gotcha. We're just doing the snow blower and shovels, so it's kind of hard to bid on those ones.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I'll recommend you to my dad. He probably has a lot of connections. Okay. He used to do a lot of commercial snow plowing, actually, and it was like 3 or 4 years of running that business, and it was hard. So I do know where you're coming from, and I have helped him do the shoveling and the salting and stuff. And
snow can be brutal hours, and it's like, during the summer when I'm scheduling jobs, like I can kind of fit it into my schedule as I want, but in the winter I have no choice. If it's snowing, we're out there.
100%. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, it can be some weird hours.
100%. Yeah, Christmas Eve even, or weekends, like you can't tell the snow when to come. Yeah. So then during the warmer months, and I think that's where like the real passion lies, obviously.
For sure.
Through our common link, which is Taryn Venn, he recommended some crazy things that you do, which are super interesting. Like you're not just like your typical like landscaper and gardener. You have like holistic, interesting ways. So instead of like me, putting words in your mouth, like talk about that. Like that is so cool.
Yeah. So I guess we need to kind of go back to the start to go into this. So 2020, like end of 2019, I was working for another landscaping company, and I was just cutting grass all day, and I kind of hated it. But I was looking for a job in the industry that I went to school for, but I wasn't even getting any interviews. And I knew if I didn't get something by New Year's, I told myself, I need to do something different with my life. Like I need a new plan, and I still wasn't getting any interviews. So that's when I decided to start the business. And cause I knew like, I kind of knew what my bosses were getting paid for some of these properties, and I'm like, I can do this, right? So my plan at the time was to just, and I'd done door-to-door sales before. So my plan at the time was to just knock on doors and say, hey, you want your grass cut, whatever. But obviously, you know what happened in 2020? People weren't answering their doors. So I really had to find a way to differentiate myself from other businesses to make like the online marketing work, because like I built this website around lawn care, and I felt like I didn't have anything to say about it. I'm like, everything there is to say about lawn care has already been said. So I didn't have any content to put on the website. And so I was kind of looking for what was going to differentiate myself. And I think my sister really inspired me because my sister actually works in wildlife conservation up in Parry Sound. So so she really inspired me to kind of look in the like environmental space. And as I was doing research, I came across native plants and carbon sequestration. And I thought this was a way that I could not only differentiate myself from the other businesses, but make a difference and feel good about the work I was doing. So yeah, I started learning a lot about native plants. And if you aren't familiar, really that just means like plants that have been growing here naturally for a long period of time. And so these plants are acclimatized to our weather, and they don't need as much maintenance as some of the typical landscaping plants. So you don't need to necessarily water them as much, and they're usually happier with the soil conditions. Right. So there's less maintenance around them, and also they're better to, a lot of them are good to feed the wildlife.
Wicked, right? Are there some that come to mind that off the top of your head by chance? Like what are some natural plants that you could tell viewers listening right now are like, these are good plants,
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton. It's like Canada anemone is a cool one. It's like a small, low-growing white flower, and it'll spread out and kind of almost act like a ground cover. Like it's short. And that one's great. One of my favorite trees is staghorn sumac. You've probably seen them along the side of the highways. Yes. They have like these really cool like curly branches and these red fuzzy berries, and the birds love those. There's serviceberry trees. You could do like was it milkweed? It's great for the monarch butterflies. Yeah, there's lots and lots. I have lots of resources on my website. You can also look at ON Plants, like Ontario Plants, onplants.ca. That's a great resource. I've gotten some plants from them. And then also Native Plants in Claremont. I get a lot of my plants from there as well. So there's a couple resources if you want to look into to some of those plants.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm actually like super inspired. I want you to like come and then, which leads me to my next kind of question is like, so let's say someone calls you up, brings you to their property. What are some obvious things, you know, to look for? Size of property, where to plant things, like how close to the house. Maybe you want to be a little bit further away if you want to actually, the birds are gonna go to them. I don't know. What are like the first things you look at when going to a place to plan?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I can't impose my vision on you, right? If you're the client, you know, I need to ask you questions to uncover what you want. And sure, like, if you want a tree planted right next to your house, I might be able to recommend that that's not the best idea. Maybe put it a few feet out. But at the end of the day, you know, I really need to find out what the client wants and what their vision for the garden is. If that doesn't totally align with me, you know, maybe I can make some compromises, or if it's like completely unaligned with me, I might just say, hey, find someone else. But yeah, really it's, you know, and a lot of the clients, they don't necessarily know the names of the plants, but I can find out, you know, do they want shrubs? Do they want trees? Do they want a certain color of flowers? And just by asking these kinds of questions, I can kind of figure out a plant list and figure out where to go from there.
Oh, that's brilliant. Honestly, like, yeah, listening to your client, that shows massive depth of empathy. And then that way, like, they end up coming out being much happier too, as opposed to like not, you know, 100%. Like, I've got these 2 cherry blossoms that I wish were not there, even though they're beautiful. For like 1 week of the year, and then they look ugly for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, they're cool and I love them. But like, yeah, personally for myself, I wish that there was something else planted there. And so you could give like that advice and stuff. Now, what's your opinion on cherry blossoms?
So I mean, it depends like what kind of cherry tree it is, I guess. There are natural varieties, of course. I think they're cool. The thing is, like you're saying, you know, it looks good for 1 week and the rest of the year it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. You just need to find other plants to plant around it that are going to provide you the look that you're looking for during the other times of the year, right?
Nice.
And actually, so this garden designer that I've been inspired by recently, his name is Piet Oudolf. I'm probably saying that wrong, but he's a Dutch garden designer, and he's really inspired me. A lot of the themes in his garden designs are about like birth and life and death, and you know, and that's kind of the cycle that the plants go through every year. You know, they bloom in the spring, they live, and then in the fall they die and they turn brown. And he's famous for saying, you know, because all these garden designers talk about color and having color year round. And he says brown is a color. So, you know, he actually appreciates the dying plants in the fall, and, you know, the color that they give, even though it's brown. People don't think of that as a color, but it is, right? And that cycle of birth and life and death, you know, it's something that we go through in 70 or 80 years, but in your garden, you can see that cycle every year. You can see it 70 times throughout your lifetime.
You just changed my mind. I love my cherry blossoms now.
Great. Now I don't need to take them out.
Every time I look at them, I'm going to be reminded of the fragility of life now. Yeah. That is so beautiful and deep. I'm not going to lie. Like, walking into this, I definitely didn't think it was going to get that poetic. That is beautiful. Yeah. Wow. That is so cool, man. Like making your garden art and appreciating it any time of the year, essentially, almost basically.
I mean, even in the winter, like, you know, your trees are still there, the branches, and like the tree I was talking about earlier, staghorn sumac, like if you leave the berries on, like that can actually provide food for birds like throughout the winter even.
Sweet. Yeah. That's cool, man. Nice. And then obviously our natural birds that we do have, your blue jays, red cardinals, etc., your random typical birds. Other than that,
yeah, I don't know. I'm a plant guy, not a bird guy.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that would be super cool. I was looking at these bird houses that are like Wi-Fi connected with cameras, and I was gonna put them up on some places and watch the birds eating.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
that was a cool
another
thing.
way to appreciate your cherry blossoms.
Yeah, true, man. Okay, so you you know, actually one thing that stuck out to me too was like, okay, you worked for a different landscaping business. You saw how much money that they were making, obviously, and I think that's like an obvious thing, right? But what did you think about like when you finally did become a business owner? Were you like, this is hard work and it's
I mean, yeah, it's definitely hard work. There's new challenges every year, every month. There's a new challenge, but it's so much more fulfilling, like trying to overcome those challenges rather than like just being kind of told what to do. The money, I mean, there's days where I make great money in the business. But then there's slow times too, where, you know, I'm like, oh, if I was just working a 9 to 5, I wouldn't be worried about my bills right now, you know?
true. I know, right? Yeah.
So there's kind of a balance there, but I would never go back.
Yeah, it comes down to personality, I think, truly. Like, the people that want that, like, near perfect security of knowing that, like, okay, budgeting their entire lives, this is how much, and I get to compartmentalize like everything and budget. But also, I think like yeah, free birds like you and
I love the thrill of not knowing where my next paycheck is coming from.
Wild, that's wicked. Do you have a lot of return business like every year? Do people obviously come back to you? And I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so I have quite a few clients. They will call me back to like mulch their properties. Sweet. or you know, do some maintenance. But something I noticed with, you know, what I built the business on, which is the garden design and tree planting, is like once the trees are planted, that's kind of it for a while at least. And so, yeah, it is a lot of like kind of one-off clients. And so last spring, I decided, you know, if I ever want to move out of my mom's house, I need to get some recurring business. So that's when, you know, before 2025, if you'd called me asking for lawn care services, I would have said, no, we don't do that. Or I would have said, I would have maybe tried to convince you to turn your lawn into a garden, which I'd still love to do, but I have started accepting those lawn care clients. And a way that I've kind of justified that to myself and try to kind of make it work into my philosophy is that I actually I bought all like battery powered equipment. So I got a battery powered mower, battery powered trimmer, leaf blower, everything. So, you know, even though it's not the most restorative service that I offer, I do still think I'm you know, trying to do it in a more sustainable way than some of the other companies.
Nice, wicked, man.
But that's a way that I've been able to kind of build up my recurring revenue. The lawn care and then also garden maintenance. A lot of like just weed pulling.
Sweet, dude. That's great. Awesome. Honestly, that's big. Like, you know, there's a recurring theme with people that come on this podcast that are super interesting, and it's like their core beliefs that cannot be shaken, right? And I think that is just everyone has core beliefs that they can't shake, and but to allow for a little bit of room of growth for the sake of growing, you know, yourself, right? And are married, kids? None? Neither?
No.
Well, there you go. You're working.
I'm
towards
single,
it.
ladies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll start a dating segment. Dude, 100%. Like, and like, you know, like, what else do we have if not our core beliefs, right? And we gotta stick to them. And so, yeah, big ups to you for.
Yeah, I mean, I've also been learning recently that, you know, it's not all black and white, and sometimes I do need to make compromises, because, you know, some of my values, you know, it'd be nice if they all work together all the time, but sometimes your values are conflicting with each other. And so an example recently, so one of the values I live by is service, and you know, when it comes down to it, every job I do, in some way I'm serving my clients, right? And then obviously there's the other value of environmental conservatism, or even environmental restoration. And these values don't always work together, right? So I had this battery powered snowblower that I was using to do a lot of my driveways, and it works great. If you want to buy a battery powered snowblower to do your own driveway, I highly recommend it. They work great. But the problem I was facing is, even though I had 2 sets of batteries, you know, one set of battery might last me 4 driveways if I was lucky. So then I get halfway through my route and we're doing the rest of it by hand because the batteries are dead.
Right.
And so I kind of came to this roadblock where it's like, okay, what do I care about more, serving my clients or having a battery powered snowblower? And so just before this last storm, I went and I bought a gas powered snowblower. And so, yeah, it kind of goes against my philosophy, but it's allowing me to serve my clients better, and it's saving my back a lot of pain. And that's been great too. So yeah, there is this balance, and it's not all black and white. And I don't know if that was the right decision, but you know, I'm happy with it for now. Anyways, I think it was what I needed to do for the business, and also it allowed me to gift the battery powered snowblower to my parents. So now I know their driveway is gonna be clear too.
Nice, man. Awesome, dude. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I think it's important to diversify your tools as well too. You know, like having you know, say the gas powered snowblower goes halfway, well, you can make a pit stop to the parents and grab the electric one and finish the day, for instance, right? There's an old saying in the military. It's like, you know, 3 is 2 and 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So if you have no backups, like, you got nothing to carry on the fight.
yeah, totally.
Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, hey, who knows? In the future, you could reallocate assets and have like 10 batteries on standby potentially, and
that could totally work. But
that's not.
It's easier to have
crazy.
One jerry can.
Yeah, true.
Like 20 batteries or whatever it is.
The ultimate purpose of serving your clients. And yeah, I can tell that like you are like that's top of mind, and so for that to be more important than like, you know, then yeah, your core philosophy is huge. And like it's so true. Like when you just your service is just top notch, like you barely need to do any advertising because then you get recommended and referred to more business, right? And that keeps you busy.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about advertising.
Yeah, man.
Like you said, like for the snow removal. I mean, I think the residential snow removal is such an untapped market. Like, if you guys want to get into residential snow removal, like, do it. I'm okay. You know, my phone is ringing off the hook for that. I never need to advertise for snow removal because people need it. You know, it's not a luxury service. It's a necessity, right? And a lot of the landscaping companies don't do residential at all. They have their commercial contracts, and that's all they do. So I never need to do any advertising for that. In the summer, I do need to do advertising and marketing. So when I first started the business, like like I said, I needed, once I figured out what I wanted to talk about and how to make content for my website, that's kind of how I landed my first few clients. It was tree planting clients.
Nice.
And this was like just from SEO on my website, which felt awesome.
That's wild. Wicked.
And then once I did that, it's like once you have a website that works for lead generation, then it's like you can just throw money at it and just boost it. Whether that's Google ads or Facebook ads or I'm sure there's 100 other things you can do, but that's what I've done is Google and Facebook ads mostly. And then you just push traffic to the website once you know that it works, right? Like, and that's been really good for me for generating clients in the summer.
Nice. Yeah. You need a wicked sales funnel, your website being like the final destination for people to go to, however they get there, whether it's organic marketing, like videos, like maybe a short like this, for instance, or Google AdWords is great. It only gets used up when someone clicks on the link usually.
And it's, if you do it right, the traffic you're generating are people that are specifically looking for your services, right? Whereas if you're advertising on Facebook or Instagram or, some of these other platforms, it's showing it to, a much wider audience, which can also be good depending on what level of the funnel you're at, right? Like, are you at the awareness level or I don't know all the names, like more the sales level?
True. Yes.
But
yeah, no, everyone's got a reason for advertising. Sometimes some people have like too much business and then it's more about like brand management or managing expectations or maybe even like getting rid of your bottom line and trying to like refocus to like different, so like not every business is looking for lead generation. So yeah, there is like different phases of a business. Do you follow any marketing people, social gurus, things like that? Are there any standouts that come to mind?
Yeah, when I was first starting the business, I don't know if you know Alex Becker.
That sounds familiar.
I bought one of his courses, which, it was such an overpriced course, but it still helped me skip so many steps. Nice. And like, where I would have had to make mistakes and learn it myself. Like I was able to skip that and just learn from him. I don't know about the direction he's been going in the last few years or even when I was listening to him. But anyways, yeah, I learned a lot from him. And then, I love Alex Hormozy.
Sweet.
Cool. I know those are the two that came to mind.
Nice. Yeah. Alex Hormozy is amazing. My big one that I think kind of changed my life and my mindset, I was just addicted to it for like literally half a year, was Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, he's great too.
Like, for a bit, like you're just so inspired by his attitude, but then what you take out of it, and you kind of go through like phases of like, you don't want to be like Gary Vee, but when you first learn of him, and some people are like, I want to be like Gary Vee, but then really like when you go through these steps, you realize no, you just want to be your best version of you. And so here's just like 100 things that you could do to help that shine even more, right? When you sent me a text actually, and I mistakenly said like next week to do this podcast, February 5th, and then I was like, my bad. Actually, is this better? And you're like, yes, speed is super important. And so sooner the better.
Yeah.
And like one thing Gary Vee says is like, speed is success and patience makes permanent. So like balancing those both. Yes, like micro speed success, do as much as you can and like things that are going to actually help and work and whatever. But then also not getting burnt out, because it's so easy to get burnt out. I feel like these days, especially with like so much that you think you need to do. So having that patience and not getting overwhelmed, not getting burnt out, patience makes permanent long term. But definitely, yeah. But then go back to speed.
Yeah, because like if someone calls me and like let's say I miss the call, I don't pick up right away. They're calling someone else right after, right? They're looking for someone to help them. So if I don't call them back soon, that lead is gone.
Yeah.
And that made me think of another place that I actually find a lot of my clients. I'm putting you guys on some game here. It's called bark.com. I don't know if you heard of it. So it's basically a website you can, like as a homeowner, or I'm sure there's other demographics too, but you can post, if you're looking for a service provider, you post your listing of like what you're looking for. And so I've found a lot of clients for my landscaping business on there. I actually even found a marketing client off of there. I still run her Google Ads. I've been working with her for a few years.
Good for you, man. Nice.
So it's a great website for any kind of service provider. But what I've found is, like, if you don't respond to the listing within a day of it being posted, and that's even pushing it, like, really you want to be responding them to within a few hours of them being posted. Because and the thing is, you have to pay credits to access their contact information, right?
Nice, right.
And so I've bought leads from there that looked like a perfect lead for me, but maybe it was 2 days ago. It's never worked for me. Huh. The only time Bark has worked for me is when I get in there quick. So
wild.
Yeah, it's speed is very important.
Yeah, there's another good example of speed. 100%. When people call, is there a time of day that maybe you won't answer phone calls, or any hour of the day, good to go? What's your preference?
It's not so much about the time of day. It depends what I'm doing. Like, if I've been drinking, I'm not answering you, because I'll say something stupid.
I'll do it for free. I love you.
And yeah, if I'm with family, I may or may not answer. But yeah, it just depends what I'm doing. If I have that mental space to deal with it.
Nice. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. Clearly you're still in your, like, not still, sorry, I don't mean to make it sound like a bad thing, but it's a good thing in a way. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I was back then, right now. And like the hustle years where, like, you will take a phone call if it works with you, though. So at least you do have that barrier that, now, like, 18-month-old daughter as of today. Like, life starts happening. You got a wife too, right?
Wait, it's her birthday today?
Well, 18 months.
Oh, yeah, that's not a birthday.
What was that, 1.5? Or, technically-ish, right?
Nice.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, man, like, that's the next frontier, bro. Once you get, like, everything sorted out financially, and, like, you will, because you've got, like you've got it clearly. Like, look, you came branded. Thanks, I'm in the hoodie.
It's okay. You got it on the wall.
Yeah, true. Fair enough, man. Life changes, and the the focus changes too. And raising a daughter is like it's not even like a business. That's not even the right thing to say. It's like it's like nothing like anything you've done before, to even try to equate it to, like, it's like no, it's not. It's even more than that. It's like every week is so interesting too, because it's like, even during, like, pregnancy, it's like, okay, hey, like, wow, this is crazy. This is so wild. Discovery. Little did we know, one of our best friends was coming to Earth. And, like, now she's got this hilarious little personality. She's got so much. She's a little brat, actually, so we're gonna fix that. No, she's so cute, and every little milestone is awesome, bro. I really can't wait for you to experience that. And she's got this little stuffy. It's called, like, a lovey, something that they're attached to, like a toy, and it's called Baba, because it's a little sheep, and she sleeps with Baba every night, and like, whenever she sees Baba, she's like, Baba, and it's so adorable, bro.
That's awesome.
But
I'm jealous.
Going on but enjoy the business formative years and growing that business, and then eventually you probably knock on wood, fingers crossed, you come across someone that either is doing their own thing, awesome, employed, or is willing to work with you too, right? If you find someone to raise up that business, or even if it's not a significant other with your business, maybe you come across a partner or something. It's hard to do it on your own, but there will be a capitulation point where like you have to pivot and like, I need help in either like I'm going to be managing, or I need someone to help manage and schedule.
Yeah, it's definitely coming to that point. Like, my friend who helps me out, he's been so helpful in my business. Shout out Noah. Nice. But he has his own goals and his own commitments. So it's not like he can't be a full-time employee for me because he has his own things that he's chasing after.
Right.
But yeah, it's getting to a point where I really do need someone who's willing to, really work on the business and grow the business with me. But it's hard to find good, reliable people.
True.
But yeah, that's just another one of these challenges that's coming up that is, it's fun to face all these new challenges as they come up and these growing pains. It's 100%. Good. It's good.
It is. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to come across as opposed to like, obviously the other way, right? You always want to be trying to grow. Let's bring it back a little bit. So we are late January. It's February next month, and then it's March, and then it's spring. So what should people be looking forward to, to potentially prep their yards? Do you have any recommendations? There's some things with both lawns and gardens. What comes to mind?
Yeah, well, I mean, the best time to plant pretty much anything is in the spring, because once the last frost is over, so this is usually kind of mid-April, that's the best time to plant because it gives your tree, I mean, other plants too, but let's just go with trees. It gives the tree the most time between planting until the hot days of summer to establish its roots. Because transplanting a tree is, it's stressful for the tree, right? So you want to give it as much time as possible to heal and grow before more stress comes in the summer. So spring is the best time to plant. The next best time to plant is early fall. So after those hot days of summer, and then that gives them the most amount of time between planting and winter when it'll again be more stress. In terms of prepping your yard, people talk about like sometimes people will ask me to turn their soil, and I think that's I don't know where that practice comes from, but I don't think it's really helpful. I think if you're turning the soil, it'll loosen it up, and then maybe then it makes it easier for you to plant things. But I think it's better to just plant instead of turning all the soil and then planting things, you just dig a hole where you want to plant things, and you be more precise about it. Because the problem with turning the soil or plowing the soil is there's all these mycorrhizal fungi. So it's like a fungal system that grows underground in healthy soil conditions, and these fungi help. They kind of help the plants communicate with each other and store different nutrients and break down some of the nutrients in the soil to make them more accessible to the plants. And when you're plowing or turning over the soil, you're destroying these systems and I don't think it's good for the soil to do that. So if you're doing that, or if your landscaper is recommending that, I don't see the benefit. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah.
Huh. That's wild. Yeah, I guess it's a per case basis technically.
Yeah.
But that is really interesting. So like, yeah, there's obviously, it's almost like, the what's it called with like the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mycorrhizal fungi.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
myco means mushroom. Rhizal means root. So it's like root mushrooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they literally can like share nutrients and help the plants communicate, you're saying, and stuff.
It's pretty trippy.
Yeah. That's funny because the last episode we did with Andrew Valier, we also talked about like Avatar. And like, again, I don't know, every episode we're going to talk about Avatar and James Cameron. But it's true though, dude. That's brilliant. And yeah, maybe it depends. Like maybe in some soil it's not there, and so it's okay to turn it. But in most cases, if there's like, you're kind of disturbing the ground and actually potentially doing more damage.
Yeah. And so that's why I think, you decide where you want to plant things first, and then you disturb the soil as little as possible.
Huh. That's brilliant, man. Wild. Huh. Wild. That is so cool. Well, so could it get like out of hand with growth, or you think like just like let it grow naturally and then maybe look for things that could be invasive though, right?
I mean, there's definitely lots of invasive species. Some of the big ones. I mean, there's the obvious ones like thistles and stuff that, they're all spiky and ugly and you want to get rid of them. But there's another bad one called dog strangling vine. And it's grows so quickly and it's really hard to pull. And the reason for the name obviously is because like if they grow too big, your pets or wildlife can get stuck in them.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, there's a million other invasive plants, but that's a big thing is removing those, and then when you remove them, you need to plant something in its place, because if you don't, like, you're pulling out weeds and you're creating this hole in the ground it's like a perfect breeding spot for more weeds. So if you're not replacing that with a plant that you want there, you're just going to be pulling more weeds there again.
Right. What would you recommend your top choices? Let's say it's like a pine, and you pulled some weeds out, and then you want to grow something else though. What would you recommend?
So pine trees, the needles are very acidic, right? So you need a plant that can withstand that acidity in the soil. So a really good plant for that is actually a low bush blueberry. Blueberries love acidic soil. I don't know if you've ever seen wild blueberries. They're always like in like coniferous forests, at least from what I've seen anyways. So yeah, it's something great to plant around any kind of conifers, blueberries.
That's so sick. I honestly I feel like I can throw any nature question at you, and you're gonna come with something so poetic.
I only have so many answers.
That is awesome. Like my mind's just firing off new neurons I never knew it had. Just with like, yeah, blueberries like acidic, and pines are acidic. That is so sick, dude. That is actually amazing, man. You clearly love like your craft, and like you're very knowledgeable on it. That's wild. That's really great.
I know enough about it to know that I know like almost nothing, but I'm glad you're impressed.
Yeah, fair enough. It's to the average person. That's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but you know what? There's probably lots of landscapers that don't care though either. They just see dollar signs and they're just like,
yeah. But I also have clients like they'll be talking to me about more typical landscaping plants, and they'll be saying the names of them, and I'm like, what's that?
Oh yeah.
So
that's funny.
So it does go the other way too.
True. Yeah. Gotcha. But that's great. Cause like, if people want something different and unique, and it's going to be like you clearly know like what's going to work naturally in that environment. That's awesome, dude. You're going to do an exploratory phase of like finding out what's going on in the property and the land, and then just giving like solutions and recommendations based on people's budgets and their vision too, though, finding out their vision from the first get-go, obviously. Any projects that come to mind that you're like really proud of in the area?
Definitely the 2 ponds that I've built, I'm super proud of. I think they just really tied together like a garden. There's been a couple properties too, like, so the thing is, when people call me asking for trees, like 80% of the time they want a cedar tree, and they want it to be 8 foot tall from day one. And, you know, I'll do some of these jobs, but it doesn't really fulfill what I'm trying to achieve. Like, because an 8 foot tree, for example, you know, there's so much more resources that have gone into it at the nursery, so much more resources that go into transporting that tree to the planting site. And then, you know, by the time you've eaten up all these resources, you know, how much carbon is that tree sequestering? Like, is it really going to be making a difference in terms of, you know, in terms of reducing the client's carbon footprint? And I don't know necessarily the answer to that, but I do know if you're planting saplings, you know, I can fit 100 saplings in a grocery bag and transport them very easily. And there's a lot less resources that have gone into growing those saplings. And therefore, I'm very confident that by planting those saplings, that I will have a positive impact on your carbon footprint. So there have been a few jobs where a client has, you know, I've planted 200 saplings in a day, and so I'm proud of those jobs, and that's really what I want to be getting more of. But it's hard because that's not what people want for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Right. Totally. I've got a sketch of a potential pond I had received a quote on. Would you be willing to take a look at it and give me some tips and tricks? You can see like the dimensions of it and stuff. The tree is a silver birch. Actually, we'll throw this on the screen too, so people can see. What would you recommend? Now, you know, there's no. It's all natural trees there. There's nothing out of the ordinary. You know, your cedars and pines, really. Silver birch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. You've got the intake bay on one side and the waterfall on the other side, which is good for like the flow of the water. I would say make sure that it's deep enough because, for example, like for frogs to hibernate, they need a pond to be deep enough where the bottom of the pond doesn't get frozen. Same thing for fish or anything else that's going to be living in the pond. So you want it to be at least 4 feet deep, nice. But you know, to be on the safe side, maybe a little bit deeper. And then you can use some different plants to help filter the water as well. I mean, obviously you've got a pump system, so there's going to be a filter included in that system. But you can use different plants like hornwort to help kind of naturally filter out some of the the particles and
see,
stuff
like that's
too.
what I'm open to. Like I'll probably get you to do it as well too. And I don't know if I want like the whole pump system. I want something kind of natural, less maintenance the better. If it could be naturally maintained, and then sure, I don't know if it needs like some little shock of chemicals or something, but probably not. Actually, that's a good question too, right? Like,
you know, it really depends what do you want out of the pond. Like, if you want a perfectly clear pond where you can see the bottom, you might have to use some chemicals. But if you're okay with it being a little bit cloudy,
100%. I'd rather more natural. something like, even if it's a little swampy, like that's cool. If there's like, if there's life there, like that's just fun to watch, right? As well too.
And also another thing you want to do, put like some dead branches on the edges, like kind of half in the water, half out. Because dragonflies will lay their eggs in rotting wood, and then it's the dragonflies that are going to eat the mosquitoes. So if you don't want too many mosquitoes, put some rotting wood around the edges.
Wicked. Mind blown. I'm getting chills, actually. That is so cool, dude. What a wicked tip to give people, and thank you for letting me know that. That is sweet. And that's like bringing it, like that's like the circle of life again. Like all like even dead things are useful.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's wild, dude. That is so cool. Yeah, I think and plus also like without like the pumps and everything, like it's gonna be drastically less expensive too, obviously, and that's a consideration. I'm not looking to make like a
because I've done quotes for people with the whole pond or the waterfall and pumps and everything, and those pieces are not cheap. And the hoses and the fittings and everything. But.
Yeah, and the location of that was actually like not very close to our house, and so like running like something for a power source is just like absurd. I did the math on like 400-watt solar panels on like if they could like generate enough power in a battery to like keep the pumps running, but I'd rather just like it be more natural and put a bench there and just like go there once in a while and just watch.
When I was doing research for my first pond, I was obviously I wanted to make it as natural as possible as well. And one of the things I came across is like for the lining, you can kind of create like a clay lining, which I tried to do, but it didn't work out so well. I think the clay we found wasn't like high enough clay content, or I don't know what happened, but we did end up having to use like a HPDM pond liner, which is what I used for the next pond as well. But yeah, there is ways to do it more naturally that I haven't quite figured out yet. But,
Yeah, it's a beautiful vision for this pond. You know, just it's not big, 20 by 20 basically. You know, just big enough for like a hockey net to maybe like do some slap shots against, like not like a full hockey game or nothing, right? In the winter, and then in the summer, a place to go sit down, enjoy. Like that's where like my mind goes now. Like what's cool things that my daughter can experience. Like so then when she's older, she can say, yeah, my dad had a pond and we used to go walk through the trail and sit on the bench and see the blue jays and stuff. Yeah. So that's what it's all coming down to.
Yeah, and the last one I built, the client, his thing was he loved birds, and so he really just wanted a big bird bath, right? So the way we did that is kind of on one end of the pond, we made it very shallow, and put some rocks in there so the birds could stand in the water, and so he could sit there and watch the birds.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, we'll definitely talk more about my pond later, dude. That's great. You got a sale.
You got my number.
What are some other services that you do? So we do lawn care, we do gardening, we do snow removal, leaf cleanup. Do you do anything there? Mulching?
Yeah, we do leaf cleanups. We do mulching. We also I've built some flagstone pathways. So I don't know if you're familiar, but basically, when I first started the business, you know, in my first year, I was kind of in a like say yes to everything mode, like you know, take what you can get. And I did some interlocking, which I hated. It was just so repetitive and just mind numbing and backbreaking too. So I haven't done any interlocking since then, but I have done some flagstone, which to me was a lot more fun because you're working with natural pieces of stone, and you're not following a pattern. You're kind of moving them around and making your own pattern, and it felt a lot more creative to me. So that was a lot more fun. And then also, I mean, the gaps in between the flagstone are a little bit bigger than your gaps in interlocking where the bricks are kind of right up against each other. So it allows for better, water drainage and some other things. So it's like I don't know. So
no, it's good. I mean, as a business owner,
way,
you get to decide and that's good that you kind of explored potential other jobs too. You tried it, and then it wasn't for you, and you never want to do it again. And I agree with that. There's been jobs I've done I never want to do again, and for photography and video. So as you get to have that power, which is great. That's one plus of owning a business for sure, and deciding when you want to have lunch as well, right? But most days I just skip. I skip lunch.
What's that?
I know. Yeah. I literally have coffee in the morning, maybe an egg.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes it's usually because I'm cooking breakfast for my daughter, and I'll throw in an extra egg. And I've been really proud of myself what's it called? I'm blanking right now. Mozzarella. Shredding some mozzarella in the egg. I'm so proud of my cheese omelets. They're so good.
Nice.
But anyway, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like honestly, when I'm working, like I'll just get up and go. Like I won't even eat. Like if I've got my guys working with me, that's when I'll eat, because I'm like, oh, I need these guys to eat.
Yeah,
so then
enough.
we'll go and have lunch.
Oh,
but
good.
if I'm on my own, like I'll just power through
Yeah,
sometimes.
man. You just listen to your body too, right? And that's
Yeah.
also kind of in line with like natural, holistic kind of approach of everything you do. And yeah, I agree. Like, if you're hungry, then eat. I don't know if you need to eat 3 rambunctious meals every single day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. And if you're not doing any walking either, like that's probably not good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We're not health experts.
Yeah. It works for me. So,
yeah. I'm trying to potentially grow an apple tree.
Okay.
So you got any tips for me? So I've got 4 apple trees.
Okay, perfect.
They're all different, but I've gotten from Algoma Orchards. They have a type of apple that they've actually like created called Snowflake, and it's delicious. It's almost like a cross between Cosmic Crisp and it's like a Cosmic Crisp essentially. It's a little like really punched to the taste. And like a year ago, if you were to ask me, I'd be like, I don't care. Apple's an apple. But no, like apples matter. Like there's delicious apples, literally red delicious, and there's like all different kinds.
So are they all this? What was it? Snowflake something?
Snowflake is a type of apple they've actually grown.
And so all
Orchards.
4 are snowflakes, or
no? So
okay, yeah.
So
because you want to have different types,
Yes.
so they can like pollinate each other.
Right. So this is my question now. Pure amateur. Like I've got whatever, all 4. None of them are snowflakes, but I've collected the apple seeds from the snowflakes. I've put them in an airtight container with something in there to make sure it's dry, right?
Okay.
And put it in the fridge. I don't know. I googled it. That's what I was apparently supposed to do. Maybe I'm on the right track or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard thing is like every plant, especially for like germination of seeds, like every plant is going to be kind of different. So you have to Google that specific plant. Like I don't have the
I thought
one
you were
size fits all answer for that.
you were a natural encyclopedia.
This is where it all falls off.
But I guess my plan is to you literally just dig a hole, you put the seeds in there, and I guess I'll have to Google it too.
So what I would maybe try doing is you can get one of these trays that has all these small pots. And so I would fill that with dirt and plant seeds in all these little pots and maybe grow it on your deck or under some grow lights or something. And then once they've all kind of germinated, then you pick the best ones and you plant those where you want it.
Wicked. Yeah, that way they're also a little bit more protected from.
Yeah, and if there's a storm or something, you can bring them in. Or,
Gotcha. Right. So grow lights. What else can be? Just kidding. Do you approach that? Do you want to talk about anything about
growing pot?
Yeah. Do you?
I mean,
you're allowed
I've never actually done it. My brother grows pot.
Okay.
Only 4 plants though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
to each
like
their own.
any other plant. You know, you actually I don't think it's like any other plant. I think they've cultivated these plants to a certain point where they're like it's a very precise science, right?
Yeah, true.
So I think they're a lot more finicky than a lot of plants.
Yeah,
actually,
it's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Like the intricacies and how there's like literally hundreds of different strains, and it can make you feel different every single one. It's quite wild. And
yeah, I wouldn't know. I've never.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, it's been too long. I like just honestly just like a glass of wine is good for me these days, man. What's up and coming?
Let's talk about the podcast. What are your goals? What is your vision for the podcast?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's wild. Whoa, spinning this on me now.
Yeah.
You know,
I am the captain now.
you know, I wanted to start People of Durham because I think it's really fun to meet people like you know, and giving the community a place and an outlet to just learn about interesting information. You know, it all kind of started from the very first episode was Tony, Giambattista, and he's a barefoot runner, and he runs around the area, Whippy and whatnot. And I've literally seen him for like the past decade, just this dude running barefoot, and I'm like, damn, that guy, that is a serious dude running barefoot. And I just want to find out like why. How did he start? How does he feel? What did those feet look like? You know, just like, you know, more to life than just like boringness, you know, like things that just like peek behind the curtain and like maybe there's more to life than just trying to pay off a mortgage or start a family. You know, why can't we just share stories? And it's all about storytelling for me. So I got him on podcast and it was all by chance. I'm shooting a real estate listing and this dude's running by and I'm like, wait. And I'm like, would you do a podcast with me? Like, it was just weird and funny, but he was like, absolutely. Do you want me to, I can be on camera for this real estate listing too. I can say it's a great house.
So before that happened, did you already have this idea of the podcast or was it kind of?
In some form or another, I think we definitely wanted to do a podcast. Naturally, like it's such a great outlet. Even just from this episode alone, we've got our like approximate 1 hour episode, and then a dozen or two short clips, and all of it is like everyone's attention span is on like short clips that lead to bigger things. It's kind of like the sales funnel of your website, right?
I mean, I'll be honest, like I've only seen the shorts. I haven't watched a full episode.
Yeah, no, neither have I. And I mean, you know, but like there could be like the odd chance that it grows into something where it's like people that are like
I
serious.
think you got a better chance than that.
Yeah, hopefully. It's, you know, like people might be like, yo, I like what Scott's talking about, and I actually want to listen to the whole thing. I liked that he mentioned this tiny little piece. I'm going to go to the link to listen to it. I've got a commute to work, and I've got an hour to kill, you know, or like 30 minutes, whatever, right? But, you know, like, yeah, so I think it was actually something potentially else other than People of Durham. And you know, I'm a sucker for like little acronyms and stuff. So I'm like, pod, it's a podcast.
Yeah, that's sick. It's a great name.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's cool and it works well and it's like we're all connected, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Nice. And so what kind of guests are you looking for?
Yeah. So, you know, like not just like only interesting people, you know, like just like your regular folk too. But I feel like regular people have something really interesting to say anyways. Even if you try and have someone super boring, you're going to come out with a great conversation and you're going to have some awesome little stories to come out of that. And just learn from people, meet people, expand your network, and just like keep going more and more and meeting cool people, like-minded people and things like that, you know? So you know, I would love to have, I don't know his name, but many people know who he is. I'd love to have the bunny's ear guy from Oshawa on. I know he's very private though. Yeah. But his story sounds like something that would be amazing just to, you know, have people listen to and spread that message and story. He's obviously wearing the bunny ears for a reason, you know, and it is a very private reason, and that's fine. But he's also wearing them still, and kind of like wherever he goes, it's sort of like advertising without saying anything. So, you know, if someone like that ever wants to share their story on a bigger outlet, it could be here, you know, and they can share their message and their message of hope and prevailing through difficult times, you know. And I think we need that, especially now, more than any time, really, you know. Like, the post-pandemic era is very fragile. Everyone's all up at arms, even if you're slightly not in line with your beliefs. Everyone's an asshole, you know, like, but that's not true though. That's what it just may seem like, but we actually are a lot nicer than meets the eye, you know, and we can have a sit down talk and enjoy each other's company and find the similarities in our differences as well too. Right. And I think that's very important. And I think we need that more, you know? It's not left or right or black and white. It is just us, and it's us on this planet together, and we're dealing with all the same shit, and we got to get through it, and we got to be nice to each other. Otherwise, if we're not careful, it could end. That's it.
Damn. It goes back to the theme of life and death there. Damn. Full circle.
Yeah, man.
Damn. Well, I'm excited to see where you go with this. Thanks, and maybe I'll watch some full episodes too.
Thanks, man. So how can people find you and learn about your business?
Sure. So it's just Carroll Property Services on all the platforms. That's Carroll with 2 R's and 2 L's. So CARROLL Property Services. That's also my website. I'm on Instagram and Facebook mostly. Or you can shoot me a text, call me, 289-943-5477.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome, dude. Thank you very much. We'll have you back in the future, I'm sure.
For sure, yeah.
Awesome, dude. Sweet.